Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sally Sewing Tutorial. It has been a while, but it is what it is. So today's video, I'll be making a simple, let's say simple. Okay, I'll be making a wrap gown with a collar, a shirt collar, and a gathers or a fray at the down parts. So that's what we'll be making. So we'll go right straight into this video. So this is the fabric I'll be using. I have 6 years of this fabric. So if you want it to be very long and you are slim, this 6 year will be enough. But I will not be making this gown to be long. It's going to be a 3/4 length gown, but it's going to have a gathers right from where the joining is going to start. So guys, so I'm just going to go straight into the cutting of this video. This is my fabric. Like I said, I have 6 years of this fabric here. So this is it. So I'll start by cutting the back bodies first before the front bodies. So I'm going to fold my fabric into two. So this video is going to come in two forms. We have the drafting part and the sewing part. So today's video or today's tutorial is going to be focused on the drafting. So this is my fold. So you make sure you fold according to the widest part of your client's body or of your body. And the widest part of my body is my bust because I'm going to be cutting the upper part before the down part. So my bust is 44. By the time I divide it into four, we have 11 inches. So you see, it's not enough. So I'm going to extend the fold so that we'll have enough allowance. So I think this will be good for me. So I've extended the fold now. So I'm going to go straight into pinning it down. I'll pin it down to secure it so that it will not move. So we'll go straight right now into our cutting. So I'm going to rule this out, this down part. I don't want it. So this is going to start as our starting point. So I'm still going to rule half inch above the first line I did. So the reason I wrote half inch above those, this half inch is going to be our joining allowance for the to the down part of the clothes. I'm going to take my half length. My half length is 18 inches. So I'm going to place it. I'm starting any of my measurement from this second line I drafted. So it's 18 inches. So I'm going to rule 18 inches. Then I'll mark a straight line. So I'll start imputing my shoulder measurement. So this is my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 15 inches. 15 inches divided by 2, we have 7.5. Then I'm going to call my armhole line. I'm taking 9.5 as my armhole line. So I'm going to impute my 7.5 inches again. Then I'll connect the two together. So from here, I'm going to start imputing all my body measurements, my vertical measurements. So starting from my bust line, this is my center back. Like I said, my bust is 44 inches. Divide by 4, we have 11 inches. Then my waist is 38 inches. Divide by 4, we have 9.5 inches. So I'm going to impute it. Then I'll connect it together. So this clothes is going to have a dart. So I'm going to take 1 inch for my dart allowance, then 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I'm having a total of 2.5 inches. For the upper part, I'm just going to take 2 inches. So I'll connect it together. So this is my 2 inches right there, and this is my 2.5 inches. So I'm going to connect these two lines together. So this is what we have. So next, I'm going to draw my shoulder slope. I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then from there, I'm going to look for the midpoint of the line that is left, my armhole line. So I'm going to look for the midpoint. I have 8.5 inches. So the divide by 2, we have 4 inch and quarter. So this is it. So this is where my curve is going to start from. So I'm just going to curve it down to meet with my actual measurements. So like I said, I've connected my armhole curve with my free hand to meet with this line. Then I'll connect it again from the top down to this place. So this is my armhole curve for the back. So what I'm going to do, my neck width is going to be 3 inches, and I'm going to connect this 1 inch slope that I came down with to these 3 inches here. So after doing this, I'm going to put into consideration my sewing allowance. So I'm just going to mark 1/2 inch all the way. So guys, this is where I'm going to cut now. So my neck depth for the back, I'm going to use 1¼ inch because it's a shirt dress, so we don't want it to be too deep. So I'm going to use 1¼ inch. So I've connected it. So I'll be cutting this out now. Then from the center back, I'm going to impute my dart line. So from the center back, I'll place my tape and come in by 4 inches. I'll do that all through the way down, 4 inches, 4 inches. Then from the tip of my cloth, I'm going to place my tape here and I'll take 9 inches downwards. So this is where my dart sewing is going to start from, this line. So I'll connect the 4 inches line I made. So I've connected it together. So I'm going to come down and I'll take 1/2 inch on the right side and 1/2 inch on the left side. So I'm going to giving us a total of 1 inch that I added for that allowance. So I'm going to place my tape like this. I'll take 1/2 inch from the left and 1/2 inch from the right. So next I'm going to connect this 1/2 inch I took here to this part. I'll do the same thing for the opposite side. So this is my dart allowance. I'm going to do this same thing at the other part of this cloth. So right now I'm going to cut this out, then we'll move over to cutting of the fronts. So guys, this is my back bodice. I've cut it out. So this is for the front. If as you can see, if you notice, I extended it because this is a wrap dress. So I'm just going to place this. This is my starting line also. So I'm going to place this on this, just like this. So I just placed it. So if you notice, I took a total of 7 inches here for my overlapping, for my wrap, because I don't want a situation whereby I will be walking and it will be showing. So I'll just rule it so that I will know where the center front is. So this is the center front. So this line is my center front. So I'll just place it just like this. So next, what I'll be doing now is I'll just cut this out and just cut it all through the shape till I get to this point, to this shoulder point. So that is what I'm going to do now. So guys, this is what we have. So from here, I'll just determine where I want my opening to start from. So I think I want the wrap to wrap from 7 inches because I don't want my cleavage to show. So I'll just mark this 7 inches here. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this my ruler that is a bit curved. So I'm just going to connect this 7 inches here down to the shoulder. I want it a little bit curvy. Okay. So from this place, from this 7 inches, I'll just draw it straight down to the tip of the dress. Depends on how wide you want yours to be. So this is how I want mine to be. So I'll just connect it to this part. So what I'm going to do, this is the back, as you can see. So let me just notch here. So this is my shoulder. I'll pull this back out now, and I'll repeat the same thing I did. This is the 7 inches here. So I'll just use a curved line to connect it. So this is what we have. So this is what we have. So I'm just going to cut this out. But before I cut it, I'm going to mark where my darts, I'm going to hold my dart from. So this is the center front. So I'm going to come in by 4 inches, 4 inches. Then from the shoulder of the dress, I'm going to take 12.5 inches because this is the front. The standard measurement for taking your dart at the front is 12.5 inches, while at the back is 9.5 inches. So I'm still going to come 12 inches. Then I'll connect the lines together like I did for the back. Then I'm going to take half an inch on both sides, the right and the left side. Then I'll connect it down to this 12.5 inches. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side of the dress. So I'm just going to cut this out. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut the front. So this is what the front looks like, and this is the back. I also mark my darts for each. So this is also, you can decide to put lining on this particular dress, but me, I'm not using lining because I'll be wearing a camisole inside. It will be too much, so I'm just going to sew without the lining. So this is how my lap is going to wrap. So this is how it's going to wrap. Can you see? Just exactly like this. So by the time I fix the back, I will be adding my collar at the side. So collar is going to start from here down to the back. So next we're going to go to the cutting of the down part of this dress, which is the skirt part of the dress. Guys, we'll go ahead to cut the down part of this skirt of the gown, which is the skirt part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold my fabric. You can see how straight it is. I'm going to fold it into two first. I'll fold it into two, just like this. Folded into two. Then I'm now going to fold it into a triangular form. So guys, after folding into a triangular form, I have a total of 8 inches, sorry, a total of 4 pieces here. One, two, then this is on fold, three, four. So what I'm going to do, I'm cutting the old skirt together. So like I said, my waist is 38 inches and the excess I gave for my wrap is 14 inches, which is 7 on both sides. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add that 14 inches to my normal waist measurement of 38 inches. So it's going to give us 52. That is 38 inches plus 14 inches is going to give us 52 inches. So we're going to cut the wideness of our waist as 52 inches. So from the tip of my fabric, I'm going to place my tape on this tip here. Then I will come down by 16 inches. So I'm going to leave it like this and mark 16 inches all through till I get to this end of the fabric. 16 inches, 16 inches. Then I'll connect the dots together. Please always make sure that you take your measurements. You measure it to see if you actually have what you have. So I'll place my tape this way. Then I'm going to come and take the measurement and see. So yes, I have 13 inches because 52 inches divided by 4 will give us 13 inches. And this is my 13 inches here. So I'm just going to cut this out. Remember that I said this is not a long gown, this is a 3/4 gown, and the 3/4 length of this gown is 46 inches. And we've taken 18 inches as the upper part, so we're going to subtract that 18 inches from the 46 inches. So we'll be left with 28 inches. So the skirt part of the dress is 28 inches, but this down part is further divided into two parts because I said this wrap dress is going to have gathers at the down part. So it's not left for you to determine how many inches you want your gathers to be. For me, I think I want my gathers to be 7 inches. So I'm going to subtract that 7 inches from my 28 inches. So that means this middle part of this dress is going to be 21 inches. So I'm going to place my tape here and I'll take 21 inches all to the down. So this is my 21 inches. But remember, we're going to be joining this upper part, this skirt part, to the last panel of the dress, and also we're going to be joining to the upper part of the dress. So I'm going to add an extra 1 inch, so half inch for the down and half inch for the side. So we're taking a total of 22 inches. So just like I did here, I'm going to do the same thing and mark 22 inches till I get to the end of this fabric. So I'm done cutting my 22 inches, marking my 22 inches. So I'm going to cut it out now. So guys, this is our skirt part, the middle part of this dress. So this is how it is. So this is the up body, so it will be joined this way. So we are left with cutting the last part of this dress. So I'm going to cut, but before I do that, I'm going to do the necessary adjustment on this skirt. So guys, this is my skirt, just like this. So I'm going to open it like this because this is how it's going to look. So you would be left with how, where do you want? For me, I like my wrap going to the right. So this is, I'm going to adjust the right part of this skirt. So this is the skirt and this is the front. So it's going to look like this. So this is it. The wrap is coming to the right part of the skirt. So this is how it's going to look on my body. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come, so from the tip of the top of the dress, I'm just going to draw a curve to meet. So from the tip of the dress, like I said, I'm just going to draw a curve with my free hand to meet with this part. So I don't know how many this part is that I took out, but this is how I want the shape. So I'm going to replace this. Like I said, it's going to have a gather. So the gather is going to start from this tip. So whatsoever the 7 inches that I'm adding is going to start from this tip down all through till we get to this part again. So we get to the inner part again. So I'll cut this out now. So this is how the skirt is. You can see it's not straight, it has a curvy end. Set this aside. So before I set this aside, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the measurements of, I want to determine how many inches we have from this tip to this end of this fabric. So I'll come this way and place my tape from the tip. So I have a total of 133 inches. So that means this 133 inches, I'm going to multiply it by 2. So what it means is that I'm going to cut a straight fabric of 7 inches twice. That is how full I want it to be. If you want it to be fuller than that, you can cut times 3. But me, I'm going to do 133 inches times 2. So I'll fold, I'll cut a straight line of 7 inches because that was what we subtracted. But please, you have to put your hemming allowance and your sewing allowance, so which is a total of 1 inches, because I'm going to hem it with half inches at the down part and join it with half inches at the upper part. So I'm just going to cut this and I'll come back to show you what I have. So guys, we are done with the cutting of this style. So there's still some adjustment to do at the front. I forgot to do it, so I just had to do it. So for the armhole, for the front, we are going to, as usual, we'll look for the midpoint of the armhole just like we did for the back. So this is the midpoint. So we're going to come in by half an inch. Then we're going to connect it from this top to this half inch. Then from there we'll still connect it to our measurements. Then I'm going to trim this out. Then after that, this is my belt, the rope for the dress. I want it to be wide, so it's it's 3.5 and 3.5 inches wide at the down part, while it's just 2.5 inches wide at the upper part. So by the time I join with half inches, we'll be left with 2 inches for the upper part, but 3 inches at the down part. I want the down part to be wide. So this is done. So this is our front. So this is the upper body of the dress. We're done with this. This is our skirt, and this is the extra fabric that I'll be using for the gather part at the down part of this gown. So I have 133 inches times 2, giving us a total of 266 inches. So that is what I have here. So guys, this is where we'll be ending this drafting tutorial. The next steps is for us to start sewing this gown, and is by the time we are done joining all the necessary parts, that's when we'll be able to measure what the collar is, and we'll be able to cut the sleeve. So the cutting of the collar and the cutting of the sleeve of this gown is going to be together with the sewing of this dress. So I'll see you all in the sewing video of this particular style. Bye. See you in my next video.